In this video, I'm going to show you how to use for loops in MATLAB. So to start, we will get a new live script. So I have the live editor here. I'm just going to give us a title. So the basic syntax of a for loop in MATLAB begins with a for statement, which we follow by an expression. Then we have statements which get repeated. And finally, we have an end statement. Well, this wouldn't really work, so let's build on our syntax and make an example. This expression should be something like this, where you have a variable, and for starters, we'll have an array. Here it's just an array of ints, and we'll just make it display x like this. And what's going to happen here is x is going to take the value of each element in the array, and x will be accessible in the loop. So if I run this, you'll see what happens. On the side, it gives me the value of x here. If the array turns out to be a matrix, and we run this, what you'll see is that x becomes each column of the matrix. Sometimes it's nice to have an index, so I'm going to make y be a random vector, and I'm going to define a variable ny, which will be 12 for now. We're assigning it that value. And so this is going to be a one row with ny columns random vector, and I'll make an index. I'll put 1 to length y, or perhaps I'll just put ny. Okay, y idx. So here the list goes from 1 to ny. Ny holds the value 12. So we're going to go through indices 1 through 12, and we'll see what's in y. And so we have a few different values there. Should be 12 of them. Now, to make this a little bit cleaner, we're going to use the disp function, and I'm going to illustrate that for you now. So if I use disp, I can make it display a string. I can concatenate two different strings. So I'm going to hit up arrow and get the last command. And I'm going to add to it. The way you concatenate is you make a list here, an array, if you will, and the first element is one string, and the second element will be another. And then that is the horizontal concatenation, so it displays that string. And so we're going to do that here in our loop, and I'm going to use the disp. And so I'll put in here concatenation. The first part is going to be like this. So it's going to say y idx, but actually I want it to show the actual value of idx. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to terminate the first string there, and I'm going to put num2str for num2string, and we'll put in here idx, so that's going to convert that to a string. There's our second string, and a comma. We'll put an equal sign, comma, and then we'll make it display the value. So num2string again, and here we're going to put y idx. So we're converting the idx element of y to a string, and then appending that to the string that we're making here. So if I run this, the output's a little bit nicer. So y1 is that, y2 is that, so on. Let's add another parenthesis here just to make it better. Okay, so there's a brief tutorial on a MATLAB for loop. And of course, you could put more complex statements here. And I'm going to show you in future videos this concept applied.